Hello, and welcome to Ideas with Diana on this June 18th, 2024. Well, tomorrow, President Trump is going to visit Leasine. The gates open at 11 o'clock at Festival Park, not Festival Hall. So those who think it's going to be inside, know it's going to be outside. And you can get tickets at donaldjtrump.com, and then they'll send you a text message which you confirm, and then you got to bring your phone to show the text message. Donald Trump is scheduled to speak between 3 to 6 p.m. Um, I and two friends are planning on going, but with me, with my both my friends, we're going to have to see what the heat's like, because if the heat is too much for us, we're gonna try to watch it on Newsmax or Fox Live. But normally we prefer to watch Newsmax because they show a lot. Fox Live does too. So we'll see like that though, like that and stuff. So also, the city we've seen is having basically a community meeting regarding bus transportation. I heard it's going to be at Summit Restaurant at 11 o'clock. So those who take the bus or have comments might like to do that. To members who of the Racine Council who may be watching, I wish you would restart Bus 9 that goes from downtown Racine to UW Parkside to make it easy for people from Kenosha and Racine to shop and go to Parkside, especially on the weekends as well. That also been because the coach lines are turn up to going down Sherwood and doglegging all the way over, and dogleg doesn't work. So we start Bus 9. And also, I would suggest that Kenosha and Racine work together on a metropolitan federated bus system, or even the federal government step up with a federated bus system for Racine and Kenosha, because local communities are bypassing expanding bus service past the city boundaries. And so a federated bus system basically is probably needed, because Chicago was wise enough to do an RTA and the CTA, but basically this part of the state still feuds. So we need someone from upper level to come in and mandate a federal bus system, if we want Microsoft to come and other companies to come to develop and provide high paying, good union jobs and good professional jobs like that, though. Are you listening, Joe Biden? Are you listening? Are you listening, Creed St. Pierre? Would you please pass that along? What happens? Not everyone can afford a car. Not everyone wants a car. I've lived without a car for a long period of time. Friends drive me. I take the bus. When I go down to Chicago, I take the metro. I've been taking the metro, or as many people who are my age or older know this, Northwestern from Kenosha down there since 1972. I went to my first trade show with my dad, taking Northwestern in 1972. We took the metro. We took the Northwestern down, and one conductor many years ago, just before he retired, he remembered me when I was 10 years old taking it, and he served with the Northwestern Metro line for all of his career like that. Though he's one of the last of what was called the Northwestern conductors, and um, Joe Biden, Pete Buttigieg, you claim you like public transportation. Well, we see Kenosha County needs a federal mandate to make federal transportation that goes beyond the city of Racine, and also that runs 7 days a week, and also past 9 o'clock, because basically we need people who like to go to movie theaters. And also, and we've seen, if you want to go to a movie theater by public transportation, it's very hard, because the bus only goes at 6 o'clock in the morning, comes back at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's only 6 miles away from the city, but based on the way we see it's designed, it could be 60 miles away. So come on, put your thinking caps on, and let's do something about this. And this is the reason. This is the reason why Trump's visit is so exciting tomorrow, because basically, I was out with a friend. We went to Barnes and Noble yesterday. I had a latte. I had an apple pie latte from Barnes and Noble, which was extended. And we saw a group of Trump supporters out by one intersection there on 21st Street with the tent, and very enthusiastic like that though and stuff. It's interesting. We didn't see any Biden supporters. We saw a lot of Trump supporters, but we didn't see any Biden. So Tomorrow, though, remember Trump's coming to the scene. Gates open at Festival Park, which is downtown at 11 a.m. So, but you better come early because we've seen it's very hard to park downtown and can be very expensive too. Um, Also, he's planning to speak from 3 to 6 p.m. according to the confirmation um, invite that's sent on this ICS file. So basically, and if you can't make it, I think you can watch it on Newsmax, and definitely you can watch on Fox Live like that, though. And I think Fox as well. But Newsmax is easy to get because you can watch it on your phone, you can watch on your TV. I subscribe to Newsmax and that. So I'm glad to see Trump's coming down, and I'm glad to see so many people are open-minded to listen to what Trump says, because sometimes Republicans in blue areas like myself have a hard time speaking to people because they have to watch who we speak to, because in some apartment buildings, you could actually be lit up for sharing a political view if you're a Republican, but you could always share any view you want if you're a Democrat, it seems like that, though. But just to let people know what the real world's like. But the other thing is, the next topic is the Olympics. I guess there's a new Olympic event for the Paris Olympics, and it behooves me about why this new Olympic event is coming out here. It's actually supposed. Maybe it's supposed to be a revision of an old Olympic way, how they used to do when they used to have ice skating on ice rinks and other stuff. And when they had ice skating on ice rinks, skaters like Dick Button and other world famous skaters, they didn't have to worry about E. coli when they skated. But I guess maybe a certain amount of E. coli is not deadly for you. I guess so, because according to the latest report, the Seine River has very high amounts of E. coli, and they claim they're going to have this river ready by the 28th for swimming. Again, it still behooves me. I don't understand. Paris has many universities. I know a friend of mine who I knew from Paris. I used to complain how people used to say Illinois, but it's actually Paris. But Paris has many universities, and the one person I used to work with from Paris, Marie. We used to talk openly about many things, and what happened was that she'd tell me about some things that people who lived in Paris didn't like about how Paris was run, and even basically how the government was run like that, though. And her family actually was part of a family that escaped and lived in a part of France that was under Nazi occupation, Vichy France, in addition to basically the other northern part of France as well. But the point is, again, it behooves me. There are many universities in Paris, and I'm sure there are many universities that have Olympic-sized swimming pools. Even in the United States here for the U.S. swimming trials, there's a football stadium that basically where basically over the weekend that they converted it over to Olympic-sized swimming pool. They took the football field on and installed an Olympic-sized swimming pool on short notice. I mean, there's a lot of pitches in Paris, for football, or to friends in the United States what we call soccer, but I'll say football, and then I'll say American football to differentiate to international listeners. I don't understand, and also they have many pitches that are indoors. I don't understand why they can't do it. They did at this Lucas Oil Stadium. They just take out the tiles and put in a pool. I mean, to me, it seems like the technology is readily available. They did it in just a few days. I mean, like even when they had Old Boston Garden, when they used to put the parquet floor on, they put it on. Parquet floor was not a permanent thing. They put it on that. They put it on, block by block by block by block by block, and and I don't understand why you have to swim in a river, and especially a river that has high E. coli levels. Granted, I understand Paris is a metropolis. Paris is a metropolis like Chicago, which is why I'm near to, and also I'm in between Chicago and Milwaukee. But I understand it's a metropolis. But even here, we get pollution, basically due to industrialization. But the thing is, we're not foolish enough to have people swim in the river, especially with E. coli levels that high. I mean, basically, and even at the YMCA, basically, when the E. coli levels or other places where E. coli levels get too high because of other types of conduct, I won't be vulgar and mention it, but other types of conduct. They close the pool, they drain the water, they re-sterilize it, and then make it safe again to swim. But also they change the policies so that basically those types of conduct is not followed. Um, so I don't understand whose great idea is this to swim in the Seine River when the Seine River has these types of E. coli issues. I mean, so does that mean that people on the swim team are going to have to carry special E. coli pills to get over in case they get a mild bout of E. coli or something, or the team physicians going to have to carry an E. coli packet? Um, you know, I still don't understand why in Perry they can't have the swimming event at a university pool. There's many universities in Perry, Sorbonne, University of Perry, others. I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of Olympic-sized pools around there. And also, there's many indoor pitches because of populated football in the Euro League and the five different divisions of the Euro League. So I don't understand why they can't convert a pitch into a swimming pool like they did at Lucas Oil. Now, it amazes me sometimes organizational thinking. That's why I tell Fred I'm glad I'm retired, because I mean I suffer from migraines, and this would aggravate my migraine even more. And I actually got to take a pill when I'm done with this talk. The last part is basically NATO. Um, Today I was listening on Fox Live or talk from Washington D.C. with Jens Stoltenberg and about NATO and how basically 10 NATO countries are able to pay the 2% NATO fee. Great, great, great. Compared to only 3 before. In the United States, our defense budget, let's see, our complete budget of the United States is 2.5 trillion. Our defense budget is I think 800 billion. So we pay 33% to our defense of us and other world nations. And yet these other countries can't pay even 2%. I mean, come on now. It's like I have Legal Shield, and based on my income, I'm able to pay 4% of my monthly budget towards Legal Shield for identity theft insurance and legal insurance, and it's like basically we could criticize because we don't do this, we don't do that in the world stage, but no. But paying 2% to secure your own country in a defensive manner, come on now, really. Who's putting the cart before the horse, and how are you doing your budgeting? I mean, it reminds me of a Doctor Who episode that I saw that's made in the window of despair season of 1979 to 80 as Warriors Gate and Full Circle. I was thinking as a joke one time to send a copy of the Full Circle DVD to the head of the European Parliament, Ursula von der Leyen, with a Haagen-Dazs card to watch and a note to explain why I sent it. But I'll say why I would send it, because basically the decision making I've seen reminds me of this Doctor Who episode of both Full Circle and Warriors Gate. It's like basically Full Circle is about a committee where they have I'm Decider Logan, I'm Decider Michaels, I'm Decider Smith, and all of them they have this big library behind them, and they said, well, they have a plan. They said, okay, well let's look in the policy library. Well, I found this thing on this. I found this. And what happened was, and all the people there, that they have to do all these fruitless tasks, because basically it says that in the procedure. You must follow the procedure. You must follow the procedure. And it's like, oh my God. And even when I saw that in college, we chuckled, because friends of ours that were from England, they told us about, yeah, that's why people are voting for Thatcher, even though Thatcher was voted out, but that's why reason people vote for Thatcher, they might not necessarily agree with her, but they had to vote for change. It's the same thing like with Trump. People may not completely agree with Trump, but there's enough that people sense that it's wrong, that the only way they feel they're going to change it is they got to vote the other party out and vote for Trump, even though they don't fully agree. And I saw that yesterday because we seen is a very Democratic county, blue county, Union County. But I saw a lot of people who are unionists, a lot of people who are Democrats, just like at Reagan. They walked over and said no. They had enough, and they don't and they had enough and they're glad like when Trump speaks out, because it's like when Reagan says, "There you go again, there you go again, there you go again," and they have gone again. They have gone again. They have gone again since 2016. I thought they learned in 2018 when they regained power, but no, they took the special Kool-Aid. I guess they smoked the special pipe too much, and while they're making decision makings, one may think that it's I don't know how you could justify it any other way like that though. But and then Biden in Maryland they want to pardon people who take marijuana, basically low-level offenses. Well, I still don't support that fully because basically, in southeastern Wisconsin, we had a lot of people in the 70s and 80s and even in the 90s. That's why manufacturers left this area, who would have these pop parties. They go on the weekend and have these pop parties and come to work and say, "Oh, I can still work. I can still work." And then what happens is they come to work and they'd have an industrial accident. Again, I won't be vulgar as to what the accident is, but then they'd use that as an excuse to get disability, even though basically it wasn't the company's fault. It was their fault because they were stoned when they come to work and they didn't want to call in because they probably called it once too many times. If they are going to forgive people for drug offenses, then also I think there should be some sort of conditions with that, and also some sort of monitoring them, that the full pardon doesn't go in effect until basically they are clean for 7 years, like that afterwards, to demonstrate that they can go to work and not try to file false disability claims like that though. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So, but um, the thing is about with the Paralympics. I have great concerns about swimming in the same river. I mean, if I was a swimmer, and what I heard yesterday about the high E. coli levels and the Perry officials said, "Oh, we'll get rid of the E. coli by the Olympics. Just don't worry about it. You don't have anything to worry about. We are in charge and we know what we're doing." Yes, those of us in Milwaukee heard that in 1991 with the Milwaukee water crisis when they had cryptosporidium, and even to this day, although I live in Milwaukee, I still drink bottled water, either bottled water that's not made from a city plant, that actually is made from actual bottled water, or A&W root beer, Coca-Cola. Or if I don't drink this, I do have coffee. And the only way I drink was if I have hot coffee that's very hot steamed, because I still don't trust the Milwaukee in water in this area. So I mean, when the Perry officials spoke about the E. coli, it reminded me exactly how the Milwaukee officials talk, because basically they said, "Well, oh, we got proper filters. We got 10 millimeter filters." Okay, assume this is a 10 millimeter filter. Okay, E. coli is the circumference of my finger. So what happens? I'm sorry, this may look vulgar, but 10 millimeter filter. Oh, E. coli has a lot of space to go, as well as cryptosporidium has a lot of space to go around there. And I talked with my dad. My dad called the news because I was working in medical research, and even then, we used 0.1 micron filters. And what happened was we called and they tried to cover us. I said, "Oh yeah, no, we use 10 micron." No, you guys knew what you were saying. They tried to cover themselves. But what happened was when the news crew actually tested, they actually found it was 10 millimeter filters. It was ridiculous. That's not filtered at all. It's not a filter at all. But they bought it because it probably was cheap. Because sometimes people, administrators like to think in terms of the stubby pencil. Oh, the stubby pencil is so good. I'm gonna I'm going to take this stubby pencil. See, I can still write with it. It's down to here and stuff like that. No, that's how you get people sick. That's how you get people ill. That's how you get people very, And lastly, regarding the Olympic Committee, you know, um, I'm a fan of the Olympics. I've been watching for many years. I've been watched. Remember the 1972 event when I saw it, watching it on ABC television in the United States. Um, and that though, in the shock of all of us, because at that time I was into swimming. I used to take swim classes, and in our swim class, we were very proud of what Mark Spitz did, and also, but we also very shocked at what happened there in Munich. But to the International Olympic Committee, I thought after the 1984 Olympic Games that politics were not supposed to be played in Olympics, and that one country was not. If one country boycotted the Olympics after 1984, they were not allowed to participate. Or if another country tried to prevent one country from participating, they were not allowed to participate. Well, I wonder what happened to that 1984 rule, because to me it seems like that 1984 rule is a being applied. I mean, um, barring a group of athletes from not competing just because of the government's policies is foolish. What happens? The athletes are not the government. The athletes are people, and the problem is basically even in the 1936 Olympics, the Olympic Committee allowed the Olympics to be held in Berlin, and allowed athletes who were quote part of the Nazi German Republic then to participate. And and what happened was basically that did have some advantages after World War II in restoring peaceful ties, and trying to stop what happened with Nazism. But by banning athletes just because a country's politics is not liked by another country's politics, the athletes don't have anything to do with the politics. Athletes don't. And what happens? Many of them, it's like what was found in the second Nuremberg trial, as mentioned by Snowden as well, which I'm glad he brought that up because many people forget about that. The second Nuremberg trial, and it said that basically anyone below a certain rank in military service, or below a certain rank in society, does not have the resources or the power or capability to refuse an unjust order. And if they do try to refuse a unjust order, there's harsh consequences to them. The athletes don't have the authority to refuse an unjust order. Athletes don't have the resources to refuse an unjust order. The athletes do not have the resources to refuse an unjust order. So why are the athletes being punished? It makes me wonder. And also, why is the 1984 rule? To me, it seems like it's not being followed, as well as the second Nuremberg decision not being followed. Again, a lot of well, I'll see what happens when I watch the Olympics on TV, though. But I seriously hope that basically with the swimming events, that they rethink this, because if they can't, if the same river can't be kept at safe levels, the swimming shouldn't be done. But also swimming in the river, oh come on now. I understand people like nostalgia, but God, there are plenty of Olympic swimming facilities and plenty of universities, plenty of indoor pitches that can be converted to a Olympic swimming facility like they did at Lucas Oil. I just wonder who's the genius that thought of this idea of swimming in the Seine River. My. Yeah, sometimes this society makes me wonder. I mean, that's why sometimes I watch streaming, and that's sometimes why I just like I watch Friends, and sometimes I don't watch new TV shows because it's like no. I did watch the Tonys last night. I did like part of it, but again, I am concerned about over tokenization. Basically, and also I noticed the applause was a little bit sparing, because basically integration should always be to a higher standard. Integration should not be to a lower standard. Integration should be to a higher standard, not to a lower standard. Integration should be to a higher standard, not to a lower standard. This has been Ideas with Diana, and today I'm so dressed rather casual because I don't have air conditioning in my apartment, but I do have it. It is up to 78 degrees Fahrenheit, which is comfortable for me. And let's see, let's see, 78 degrees Fahrenheit is about 22 degrees Celsius. Um, so basically, it's comfortable for me because I went to college in the Southwest, on the West Coast. So I'm used to basically summer days like this. So, but what happens though? If I'm dressed light and casual, I'm not wearing my wig because I tried doing the podcast with my wig and I was getting too warm. So basically, even during this time, I just wear a cap and just wear my hair as a ponytail like this and stuff. And that. So, well, let me know what you think. I'm on X at Diana1A, and I prefer to receive comments on X. Or if you want to, just leave comments on the YouTube comment thing here, and I'll respond to them as soon as I can. Thank you again for watching Ideas with Diana, and try to stay cool during this heat wave. And remember, just stay hydrated with good clean water. You eating that though. Stay hydrated with good clean water. Just even if you have to buy Coca-Cola, A&W, or some sort of soda pop or other things, but just make sure you don't overspend on water. This has been Ideas with Diana.